Hello fellas and fellas, and welcome to my newest video where I go over Garfield Kart, which is probably one of the strangest franchises to do a kart racer on in the current console generation, but let's get started. Garfield Kart is a kart racer based on the fictional animated kart Garfield. The game was made in 2019 and made by Artifact Studio, and is actually a sequel to another Garfield kart racer from 2013. Now that's all out of the way, let's get into the actual game. So in terms of story, there really isn't one, which isn't out of the ordinary for kart racers and is not necessarily a huge focus in these types of games. But I personally think a story mode would have done a lot of good for this game, as you'll soon realise as I go into more detail about it. So before you start any race, the game will allow you to choose your character and a few accessories like the car itself, a piece of headgear and a bumper. You can unlock more of these by completing challenges and getting all sorts of medals, etc, which provides a good incentive to replay tracks and races to get these different items. And doing so is probably in your best interest as each different customizable has its own stats, which allows you to mix and match and provide yourself with bonuses that will cater to your own playstyle. With certain customizables you can obtain the ability to use certain power-ups numerous times. Overall a good choice. But I think the worst part of this is that each customizable has its own colour, which indicates that it works best with a certain character, meaning it eliminates any kind of player ability to play around and figure it out for themselves, as you can just look at the corresponding colour and just apply it so easily. Without that player experimentation, it sort of eliminates some replayability. I like the idea, don't get me wrong, but if they remove the colour coordination it would allow players to apply some thought into what parts they were applying to the karts. When choosing a race you can either choose a single track or a Grand Prix, which has 4 different racetracks, and most of these tracks look very colourful and aren't exactly hard to look at. But in most of the tracks there's literally nothing in the background, meaning there's no life to the track. It might not sound like a big deal, but when you have 3 laps of a ghost town-esque track, you can notice that not a lot is happening. Due to this, none of the tracks are very memorable to me. As I'm recording now, I could not tell you a single name of any of the tracks, which is a shame, as with a few tweaks this could be way better. In terms of actually racing, it's your basic run-of-the-mill kart racer. You start and have to use items and shortcuts to be able to finish first. To get items you just drive into the confectionery and you can obtain all sorts of items. From the classic Garfield staple of a lasagna speed boost, to a literal set of UFOs to abduct your opposition. All items do different things and are obtained at different places in the race. For example, first place wouldn't get certain power-ups, but someone in 5th place might get a really powerful one just to get ahead. Pretty easy to follow, it's pretty much like every kart racer in that regard. Another neat thing about the gameplay is the jigsaw pieces. Levels have a set amount of these and collecting them gives you parts of art pieces in the gallery, which is a good incentive to replay levels to find them. Other than that, that's literally all there is to this game. Now, I never expected a super amazing game based on Garfield, but it is very easy to play and to complete. Most other games have way more races and just way more character variety. As a game, this game isn't god awful, but it is very lazy in a few areas, which is kinda ironic for Garfield, sure, but it is a game that people actually have to pay for. I mean, if you're a beginner wanting to get into kart races, I can recommend it in that regard, sure, but don't pay full price for half a game, you know what I'm saying? For example, if it's on sale or something, I'd definitely give it a look, but other than that, you'd be better off just getting a different game entirely. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching and let me know in the comments your experiences or your thoughts. Make sure you like and subscribe and I'll see you all in the next video. Ciao for now.